Welcome back to the table. Okay, I decided I'm definitely going to try to do the Afghanistan 2020 mission after this one, but I don't want to give up on this. I actually think that if I can average 5 points a day, we can get a rating of at least good. I don't know if I can get excellent, but I think we can pull out a good. Now, I do have some issues. I have these battalions that are approaching, which are a problem largely because I can't like if I destroy those battalions, those aren't getting me 5 points. Those are only going to give me one or two. Um, there are some battalions in this that will straight up give me 5 points for doing it. I have massive issues with stress, so that's the first one, and I don't know how easily I can pull off taking out some of these high point ones. It's not going to be easy. Let's just put it that way, because we're dealing with issues of stress on our pilots. There are some juicy 5 pointers out there, but I'm going to need to take multiple planes to go to win against those. And also, those are going to have anti-aircraft SAMs, and they're usually going to be a lot more difficult to take out. So I think one of the things I want to do is I definitely want to clear out the guys that are causing me to lose SO points every turn. But before I do any of that, let's see what this card is going to be. And just by looking at it, I know this is not an expansion card. So therefore, I know I'm not going to get a mission to do assault or anything like that. So it is a munition shortage. You may not spend more than one SO point for each mission when purchasing weapon counters, which is usually what we do anyways. So no worries there. I only have 3 points to spend. So what I can do is I can go on a transport again with my two guys and get that back up to 5. So if there's anything nice to say about this transport option in this expansion rule, getting 2 SO points for doing transport is pretty nice. I still would argue that if I just bought another Warthog, I wouldn't be losing SO points here, so therefore I wouldn't need to do transports, but it's a 6 or 1/2, I guess. Okay, so let's assign our pilots and figure out what missions we're going to do. The two missions that are threatening us right now are 7S and 10A. And I'm trying to find those. 7S is this guy. This is the one that is only worth 1 victory point. And he's down to half strength. So I could do this one. And if I can get him down to 3 points, I can destroy the battalion. I'll score 1 point out of the deal. And then, of course, I will get rid of them from the zone, which is a big threat to us. But we're only going to score 1 victory point for that. And we have 3 days to score 15 victory points. 10 is the next one, 10A. And I need to see if I can find that one. Here he is. This one is full strength. We never touched him. But it's 6 infantry, which the problem with the infantry is they can shoot 1 space away. So they can be a little pesky. And the MK20s are good against them, but there's really nothing good against infantry. With the trucks and stuff, I can use like AGM 65s. There's the AGM 114s, but they don't work against infantry. You got to use the regular bombs. This is a trickier mission than you might think. And so I think the best I can hope with this one is to knock it down to half strength and have it go backwards. So with that said, this was on our list last time. And if I wanted to not get 2 SO points, I would actually try to maybe send our crappy helicopters, the Black Hawk and the Iroquois, and use them to go after these infantry, because these infantry guys are, I do have the Iroquois actually has an evasive of 1, so he can actually avoid some hits as he goes after certain infantry. There's nothing to equip them with other than just cannons and bottle rockets. The thing is they only have 6 weight points worth of power, So you're talking 3 bottle rockets, and then you're done. I still think getting 2 SO points from them is the best route for these guys. They're worthless helicopters outside of that. So then that means the Apaches are what's going to be doing the job. Or I can try to send, I think the Thunderbolt, I need to go after something super juicy. The F-16, my pilot is shaken, so I got to set him out. And we're going to be using a newbie pilot for the F-16, so we're in big, big trouble. His name's Ripper, and we haven't used him yet. He's slow. He gets a -1 to his die rolls if he's over the target. So Ripper is not going to be very effective for us. So I can't assume he's going to do massively good things. But the Warthog, I do have Buck back. Buck is actually in fantastic shape. So let's say we sent an Apache after each one of these. So this one would get an Apache. The one I showed you before gets an Apache. So that would get us 3 victory points. So then I have this 2S here, which is threatening to cause us to lose points. And 2S is just as bad. It's nothing but APCs and trucks. Now this, I get 2 SO points when I destroy the battalion. So this actually, that is an interesting option. Like, maybe I can go after this one with my crappy helicopters. But even so, at 8 trucks, I'm going to run out of bottle rockets. I just, there's not enough bottle rockets to hit 8 trucks. But it might be a nice, easy one for the F-16 to go after, since I have a crappy pilot on my F-16. But if I do that, that's still only 1 more victory point, so that's 4 out of the 5 that I need. And then 9A, this one would get me 2 victory points if I can finish this one off. And that has some tanks and trucks. I think if anything, I would send the F-16 after that one. This convoy here is rather juicy. You get 2 SO points for doing it. I'm tempted to, like I said, use the 2 instead of doing transport. Maybe go after that, because if I can get that knocked out. Ugh. Okay, so here's the thing: the cannons that we get. The M134 cannon is free, but you need to roll a 10 to hit with it. They only have like I said, they only have 6 weight points of munitions, and since they can take bottle rockets and BGM 71s and AGM 114s, those are their only choices. The AGM 114s, however, are useful against trucks, so that actually could work. But here's the deal: I'm not getting the 2 SO points for them going on transport. I'd be getting it because but what they're doing is they're going to get me a victory point and 2 SO points. That's the idea. Can I knock out 12 of them? That's the question. And AGM 114 still cost me SO points. I only have 3 SO points. But I could do their mission first and get the 2 SO points if they succeed, and then use those 2 SO points to do the rest of my... Oh, I'm really starting to daisy chain a lot of luck here. But let me show you something, though. With the cannons, I can get a double cannon of one of those, but it costs me 1. So that only hits with a 9. And then if I'm willing to spend 2 weight points, I can get... What is that? Is it a Gauss cannon? I mean, I don't know what the GAU stands for, but I know it's the 50 cal. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, you can hit with an 8, but it costs 2 weight points to get a double. Yeah, it's not that great, but getting 1 cannon though, at least, is something. I don't. Let me think about this. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2 special option points away. We're going to take our 2 crappy helicopters, and we're going to send them after the convoy. We gain 2 SO points for destroying that convoy, and we're going to go after that one first. So both of those are going to go after that. I do have this one, the fast assault, worth 3 points. It's at half strength. So my F-16 is going to go after that one because I have the newbie pilot, and that's the best he can do. I have these two, which are in the front line. One is at half strength, this one, and this one's at full strength. So it has 4 APCs, 6 infantry, and 4 trucks. That full strength one doesn't look good, but I would get 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because I'm not going to get to full 3 points because that one's already half strength. I would get 2, 3, 4, and then 2 more for that. That would get me 6 points. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to send one Apache after this one because he's half strength. This one right here. And I would recover a stress. So basically it would cost me 1 stress less to go after this particular battalion. Now the other thing is that 9A here, this one, he's also half strength. I don't have to go after him because he's probably going to keep retreating, right? But the problem with this is that he's worth 2 victory points. I took 1 of the 3 victory points already. But maybe let's see if there's somebody else I can go after because he's getting a -3 to his die rolls. So the chances aren't good that he's going to move forward. He's going to probably keep moving backwards. So maybe we let him stay damaged. This one is only worth 1 point. He's at half strength. We'll go after him with one of our Apaches. This one is not fun because it has 6 infantry. So I was going to go after this one with a Marauder just because he's not going to be fun with 6 infantry and 4 trucks. It's just not going to be easy. I'm going to need a lot of weight points. I'm going to need a lot of munitions. So I still have an F-16 and I still have the helicopter. So what I'm going to look at now are these guys that are in this band. And I know some of these command ones are juicy. The 4C and 3C, for example, well, they're actually only worth 1 or 2 victory points. One of them gives me a scout, which is pretty cool. 4 APCs, 2 helicopters, 2 tanks, and 2 trucks. I only get 1 victory point for that. That seems like a lot. But I can send my F-16 after that and probably do some good damage. And then the mobile HQ gives me 2 experience points, but it looks pretty foreboding. Then I have 7A and 3A. So let's see what those are. So just to show you what I was looking at these 2 guys. So this one here seems like there's a lot of difficult targets for 1 point. But I think the F-16 could do it. It's just that it's only 1 point. I do get an extra experience point, yay. And I get to add a scout counter, which is worth an SO point. And that scout counter I can use to, extend a battle longer. It's an interesting option. This one just looks like that would be a tough battle. I mean, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's going to be 14 units on that board. And you get a lot of experience points for it, but you only get 2 victory points. So I'm leaning towards leaving these alone. And the chances of them moving forward are slim, even though they've moved forward a whole bunch so far. 7A and 3A, like this one, has a lot of infantry, so you got to be careful. But that one's worth 3 points. And then 7A is worth 2 points, and it's got even more infantry. So I'm thinking, maybe we go after some of those. So what would I do? I only have an Apache. That's all I have in an F-16. I could combine them together and try to take out this particular one, which would give me 3 victory points, and that's pretty good. But then why not go after this one, which is worth 5 victory points? There's some anti-air, there's some SAMs, and the tanks are all awful. The problem, my Fighting Falcon is not going to get any bonuses, but it does get a bonus versus helicopters. So I'm looking for something that has helicopters in it, just so we can take advantage of the F-16 bonus. And there is one, and that's that command unit. So maybe we go after this one, but it's only worth 1 point. Ugh. And I don't get the point if I knock them down to half strength. I only get that point if I can completely destroy it. I think I would have to devote both of my units to it. So 2, 3, 4. That would get me to 5 points, though, this week. Or this day. So I really would score the 5 points that I'm talking about. I can't do this one until my F-16 is back to full strength. I want, stress-wise. I need my regular F-16 pilot. So there's some juicy ones, but not this turn. I just can't do it. So I will go after this one with both the F-16 and the Apache because I need to destroy it. I'll get an extra experience point. Great. I'll get a scout counter, which is even better. And I think that's the best I can do. I'm definitely pushing this to the limit here. But if I succeed at everything that I'm setting out to do, I will get 5 points today. And that's still a tall order. All right, I'm going to pause this video, which should seem seamless to you, but I always warn you because I screw things up all the time. All right, back. Okay, so I'm signing up to do 1, 2, 3, 4 battles. And it's crazy because I'm sending 2 planes to get 1 victory point. I don't know why I'm doing that. I guess I'm doing it because it seems like the only target that's reasonably... Yeah, I'm doing this because I'm trying to make sure that we get our SO points for these next 2 rounds. And also because I need to rest my guys. So, all right, let's do this first. We already drew that we can't spend more than 1 SO point for each mission. 4 munitions. So I can use one to, like, cancel the weight point penalty and stuff like that. But let's do this. We have our 2 helicopters. I could spend an SO point if I want. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to. It's 4 APCs and 8 trucks. And I think I'm buying AGM 114s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them for each helicopter, because they both have a 6 weight point limit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The AGM 65s are on the other side, so you might see me. You might see the counter flipped over to the wrong side. That's okay. They can't use AGM 65s. All right, so that's what this one is, by the way. All right, so they got 5 of those each, and then they have 1 point left. And yeah, I'll stick a cannon, like an impossible. It takes 10 to hit cannon on each one. And there we go. We're ready to rock and roll. So those 2 guys are going to go in, and we're going to go up against a convoy, which is just 3 APCs. No, 4 APCs and 6 trucks. I mean, this should be not bad. The trucks give me a +2. So 6 trucks, and then the APCs, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they all can shoot back if you're in the same space, but the AGM 114s are all about shooting 1 space away. And here's the problem with this strategy. Cover. Cover is going to ruin my day. And I have to destroy these. And so what pilot am I sending on these? Well, first of all, the Shepherd is the Iroquois pilot. and he's actually legendary. He gets a +3. And then Sigmund is the Black Hawk. He's a veteran. He only gets +1s. So let me look at their experience. Sigmund only has 4. So he needed 8 to level up. So Sigmund's not quite there, and I guess it's a she. My apologies. So this shepherd here gets a +3 with his cannon and strike. And so I'm tempted to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some AGM 114s away, because here's what I'm concerned. Some of them are going to go into seek shelter. They're going to go for cover. So the UH1 here needs a better cannon. And so I'm going to have to take some AGM 114s away to give me that cannon. Now I could go for the Gauss 19. That will cost me 2 weight points and only 1 special operation point. Well, taking this away is one of those 2 weight points, and then taking this away is the other. So that'll do the trick. And so I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still at 6 weight points, and I'm still using 5 special operation points. So that actually works out. So the idea here is I'm feeling like he's going to have to use his cannons to get some hits in. And with the pilot getting a +3, I can hit with a 5. This is a 5 strength cannon. And maybe that's the trick with these little cheap helicopters, is that you go in and just use your cannon like this. The cannon's not a bad deal at all. And he has an evasive of 1, so he can ignore, some enemy flak. And I just go in and cannon the crap out of him. Now, Sigmund, on the other hand, is still just a veteran, so she needs to level up a bit, but she can use AGM 114s and hit from far away. So, all right, you got the idea. I'm going to leave these close to that camera so I can slide them in real quick and take them back out if I need to. All right, let's roll the mission card, or draw the mission card. For the duration of this mission, add any 1 extra unit to random hex when placing enemy units. I can add any 1. Ugh. Okay. Well, I'm going to choose one that can't shoot back, like a Scud. Or maybe a truck, because a truck can shoot back, but trucks are easier to hit. So sure, I'm going to add another truck, because I get a +2 to my die roll against those. But yeah, that sort of stinks. All right, so boom. So all of this is just going to score me 5 points this week. However, it's setting me up for the next 2 days to do really well. Because with the 5 points, these 4 that are threatening me are going to get, if we succeed at everything we set out to do, these 4 are going to all be pushed back or eliminated. And then we're going to have some breathing room. And yeah, some of my pilots will get some rest. I'm hoping that with my SO points, I can do some mandatory R&R and get some rest that way. So here's our situation. We don't have a lot of, this area here is actually its own little private zone. Same with this. But actually all of this is a private zone. Several private zones, in fact. But this is all one area. So let's see how this plays out. So we're going to do the 4 APCs. So I have a 10, a 6, and 2 5s. So both of those go there. And then we're going to do the trucks. A 5, a 6, a 1, and an 8. And then a 2, 3, and 8. So these 2 I can't do anything about unless I go specifically for that zone. I can leave 2 points alive. So I could theoretically leave these two trucks alone and not worry about them. I could have one helicopter do this zone here, and then one helicopter do these zones in here. That's an interesting notion. And who's going to do what is the question. Both pilots are slow. The Iroquois does have one evasive, so he can go somewhere and not take. Basically, he can. What am I trying to say? He can go somewhere and absorb a hit. So, for example, I can put him here, hovering, and that truck won't shoot him because he has one evasive. Whereas Sigmund, I can put here, ready to enter that area, and so that truck won't shoot him. So we can at least get through this first turn and nobody gets shot at, and then they can do whatever they need to do damage-wise. Does that make sense? I think it does. So let's start off then. So if you can see, this is the Black Hawk. This is the Iroquois. The Iroquois is the guy that has the +3 bonus if they're in the same space. This one is +1 either way, and he's loaded with nothing but AGM 14s, 114, so he wants to shoot into the next hex. So his idea is he's going to just creep forward and just keep shooting as many of these as he can, whereas this one is going to do whatever he has to clear these out, and then maybe, if we have time, take those out as well. All right, so let's roll for cover. A 1 or a 10 works. Let me get everything else out of the way. A 6 doesn't work. All infantry go into cover. Well, that works. There's no infantry. So, yay. Okay, this is what we need. We can't have them going into cover. At least the ones that do need to be over here. Because Sigmund's more effective if they don't go into cover. This is Sigmund. And we're going after 2S, which is going to be a 2 stress mission. She has a 2 cool, so she won't even get any stress from this mission. So that's the thing that's powerful about this one. And yeah, maybe I'm finally figuring out how to use these crappy helicopters. Okay, so they go first. Nothing happens because we have an evasion with this one, and there's nobody who can shoot the helicopter there. Sigmund, on her Black Hawk, is going to shoot at the truck from one space away, and she's going to use one of her AGM 114s, which is this. And we hit with a 4, and you can see I rolled a 2, but the truck gives me a +2. So that's the advantage, and she gives a +1. So we actually did enough to hit. That 4 was quite dangerous with a roll of a 2, but we were able to take it out, no problem. So this truck is destroyed, and then for her movement, she moves in and positions herself to go into the next space. Now I do want to check. Like, do I have to declare my movement and attack before I resolve my attack, or can I attack first and then move? I don't think the rules are super clear on that. Oh, and I forgot. Is this one a half battalion? No, this is full strength. Okay, so before you do anything, you adjust your altitude. We know that. You may decide on your aircraft's movement 1 hex at a time. You do not need to declare its movement ahead of time. An aircraft can attack at any one time during its movement. Well, that answers the question. So if I attack first, I don't have to move until later. So great, we were doing this correctly. Because that's what I want to do. Now, the Shepherd here, this is an interesting one. This truck is in his space, but since he has one evasion and can avoid the truck, we're actually shooting at these 3 guys first because I don't want them going into cover. So Shepherd's going to use 3 of his AGM 114s. So we're going to use 3 of those. And two of them are APCs, one's a truck. So the APCs are going to be a little bit harder to hit. Now, Shepard gets a +2 to his die rolls, even if it's one space away. His card, by the way, looks like this. So the +3 is better, but he still gets a +2. It's actually, for a pilot, this is like an awesome pilot. So we're going to go ahead and shoot. What I could do is, I still have one more AGM. I could use it to try to finish those off for sure. But you know what? I'm going to take my shot and see how well I do, and save it for another. Excuse me, another target. I've got the hiccups. And okay. So these two are going to be for the APCs. And remember, Shepard gets a +2 to his die roll. And also remember, I need a 4 to hit. Let's go. All right, so I got a 6 and a 9. Well, it was a 9. It flipped over to a 5. That's 2 hits against the APCs. And then we're going up against a truck, which I'm going to get a +4 on this one. And of course, I roll a 10 whenever I'm getting a +4. Oh, wrong one. So that truck's destroyed. So he hit all 3 of his targets. We're off to an excellent start. And yes, our crappy choppers they're doing their job. So we, at the end of the turn, we move down to 4 turns left. Again, nobody attacks, and we roll for cover. This time it's a 5. Anywhere that there's destroyed units in the hex. So there are destroyed units, but nobody survives, so they don't go into cover. And so, oh, by the way, Shepard is going to, for his movement, he was hovering. I think he should do this. Although I'm worried, because if he misses the truck, we're going to have to turn around and come and get the truck. But I'm going to bank on the fact that I can hit the truck with my cannon before I leave that hex. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right, so let's start with Shepard. I'm using my cannon, which you can see here requires an 8 to hit with. So now I have to hit it with a 5 or better. And the truck gives me a +2, so that's actually a 3 or better. And there's an 8. So, uh-oh. I was going to say my camera's not working. That's interesting. See, my camera is showing this 8 here. So why can't you see everything that my camera sees? That's the thing that has me puzzled. Oh, I see. Is that what... Yeah, there's something really goofy going on here with this camera, because this 8 is showing up on my camera, but I have to move it all the way up like that before you finally see it. Yeah, no explanation for that, but anyways, it is what it is. And the point is we hit, and that's what matters. So I'm going to do that, and then he's going to fly to here, and he's probably going to have to go high altitude to go after these 2 trucks. So we'll have to deal with maybe a pop-up. And then this guy is going to shoot 2 AGM 114s into this zone. And the only risk here is he's, of course, moving into that zone after he's done. So we need, one of them's a truck and one of them's not. So let's roll the not part. And I rolled a 4, which should be enough because it hits with a 4. So the pilot gets a +1. Actually, I got a 5. And then the truck, I rolled a 5, and that's definitely a hit. So that's a job well done. We took out 2 of them. And now what he's going to do is he's going to come in the middle here and hover, because we've got to shoot in 2 different directions, right? We're doing great. We only need to get him down to 2 points to destroy the battalion. We have 3 turns left. And we're at a spot here where I'm actually on the verge of clearing the whole board. So it's their turn. Nobody hits us. So we go to our turn. So Sigmund here is just going to shoot a rocket at the truck, an AGM-114. So again, AGM-114 comes out, and I still have one more left with Sigmund. So I have enough for both of these guys, and so I shoot at the one, and it's a 9, and we definitely hit him. So this truck goes down, and I think what I'm going to do is set him to go this way because I'm preparing for the turn or to get to escape. So I'll turn him to move that way. And Shepard here has to go high altitude, but then is the cannon high and low? Yes, it is. And then Shepard's actually going to move into the space, and we're going to hover, and he's going to shoot his cannon. And the cannon can only go after one target, so we're just going to go after one of the trucks. And I rolled a 6, which, yeah, again, I don't understand the camera thing. But so we roll a 6, and we definitely hit the truck. Because he gets a +3 and the truck gets a +2. So we're doing fantastic. So now we go down to 2 turns left. I was supposed to roll for cover, so let me backtrack. I rolled a 1, so nothing would have happened, so this hit on the truck is still good. Okay, so now we have to draw a pop-up. And I got a no enemy pop-up. And so let's start with this Shepard. He's going to shoot an AGM-114 into there. It's his last one. And he hits with a 4. He rolled a 7. So the APC is destroyed, and he's going to start escaping. And then Shepard here, that was Sigmund, sorry, is going to use his cannon. And I rolled an 8, which is more than enough to hit that truck, and he'll escape as well. So I kept calling these crappy choppers, and to be quite honest, those cannons, you know, you have to spend an SO point to be able to get that cannon, but those cannons are good. When you have a pilot that has a +3 to his skill, let's make that caveat very clear. The AGM-114s have always been good. They're just as good as the Hornet version of the AGMs, and I think they are 114s there as well. You know, hitting with a 4 is usually a good odds kind of thing, especially if your pilot has some level of skill. Now, obviously, the tanks and stuff that subtract from your roll makes it harder, but I can't express enough how happy I am. We just got 2 SO points for doing a non-transport mission, and then on top of that, we just scored a victory point, and we eliminated a battalion, so it's no longer threatening us. So our pilots get 2 stress. The Sigmund gets none because she has 2 cool. The Iroquois will get 1. That's Shepard. So we're done there. We're going to get out our sheet. And I'm doing all kinds of missions today. So I'm just going to ignore the fact that this says 7 and 8 up here. So this first mission we just did was 2S. And so Sigmund and Shepard both got 2 experience points. So Shepard got 2 and Sigmund got 2. So Sigmund's up to 6. Still not enough, and Shepard's already legendary, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, we do that, and then we sneak further down, and we got ourselves an X because we destroyed the battalion, and that was worth just 1 victory point, but I will still take it. And we're 1/5 of the way there. And most importantly, we got the 2 SO points that we needed to do the rest of our missions. All right, so Blackhawk, Iroquois, they did their job. We're going to put the cannons back. I have an extra AGM 114, and let's draw the mission home. Inflict 1 light hit on a random aircraft. Let's hope that it hits the Iroquois because he evades. So Iroquois will be even. And I rolled an odd. So we're going to inflict a light hit on the Black Hawk. Now the Black Hawk has a AH-64. So if I draw a token that has AH-64 on it, it's a miss. But this is even better. It's just a no cannon, which the battle's over. So who cares that there's one turn where there's no cannon? All right. So we did excellent. I'm going to just set these tokens aside because we're going to be reusing these. Those are APCs. These are trucks. Okay, Shepard and Sigmund. All right, 1 mission down. How many more? 3 more to go. So we're going to use 2 columns for day 6, and that's okay. I'm doing all this for 5 victory points, but the big thing is we're going to clear up the threat to our lines. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, I'm going to end the video and try to figure out what's going on with my camera zoom. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome. And then we'll continue.